The Last of Us features the zombie ant fungus Ophiocordyceps unilateralis taking over the world, and while I did like the show, the last episode of season 1 really pissed me off. I'm Tira, I'm an immunologist, and I like to ruin TV shows and movies that feature infectious diseases. The concept of a fungus taking over a wheat production plant in Indonesia and contaminating products that are shipped around the world isn't the most insane thing I've ever heard. Having it all happen within the span of 24 hours before everyone turns into a mushroom is a little short though, because the infection cycle in the ant takes 3 to 6 days before it dies, and then about 7 days after that for the fruiting bodies to appear. The fungus secretes chemicals that interfere with the ant's primitive immune system so that it can't defend itself, and other ones that interfere with the functions of serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. Considering those 3 chemicals control alertness, mood, the fight or flight response, behavior, and movement, it's no wonder that fungus can control the ant's body. But the question is, could it do the same to humans too? Well, we have adaptive immune systems which the ants don't, so that would give us an edge, and that's actually how Ellie was able to develop tolerance to the fungus in the womb so that she couldn't be infected from bites. However, the main barrier to this fungus infecting humans is our body temperature, which is much higher than the ambient temperature of the tropical forests where the fungus normally lives. As I keep saying, temperature is extremely important for the proper function of proteins and enzymes. So no, I don't think this fungus could ever take over humans unless it adapted to have proteins that are stable at a much higher temperature. At the end of season 1, the last episode involves some doctors that want to take Ellie's brain so they can find out what makes her immune, and this is completely unnecessary because there's no part of the immune system that completely resides within the brain tissue. If they really wanted to find out, all they would need is a blood sample so they could look at all the B and T cells in her blood that created the tolerance. That means none of the last episode needed to happen at all. I won't rate this show too poorly though, I do have a soft spot for it. I have a friend who worked on the show as a set dresser and he needed some material to put in the scenes for the labs to make it look authentic, so I gave him some scans of some of my lab notebooks and that was what was actually used on set. Overall, 8 out of 10 because it is a good show and because it was also filmed in places where I went to university and where I live. Let me know what you think of The Last of Us in the comments.